Welcome back as we have quick breaks here in the group stage, snapping into action, series to series. Elephant up against Fnatic here for our second best of two. Lacoste, you're looking forward to this one?
Oh yeah, I want to see how these two teams are going to match up against each other. Elephant, a lot of faith in this team. Everyone who is watching Dota, who's watched Dota in the past couple couple of years of competitive Dota, they recognize the names pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Some of the names were changed, but these are the same players. And yeah, on Fnatic, they also had a bit of an issue with the roster, so they swapped things around. And I feel like they improved so much. Watching them in Season 1 and Season 2, they were also, I'd say, struggling a bit, but watching the recent games, I feel like they're doing much, much better.
Much improved, yeah.
Yeah.
And, speaking about quick breaks, quick drafting now from both teams as we get a Weaver ET, two heroes which, we're expecting to see throughout the meta here for the group stage. Tiny has been let through, though, Lacoste, as Elephant grab it and also take themselves a Lycan.
Lycan is something that Chinese teams really love to run, where you have this helm, you have this pushing potential, a hero that usually, like historically, didn't really scale well, but with all the new items, like you buy drums as your second item and then you get either a BKB or AC, it gives you that roche taking potential, gives you the damage that you need to siege the towers, and to go through the bans real quickly, Io plus Monkey King, I think we're gonna either see these heroes being picked in the first phase or straight up banned out in the first phase. Elephant protecting Lycan, banning out Sven, which is one of the better counters. You have Cleave, also Tiny, even though he has a lot of armor, still doesn't deal well with Sven. BKB gets on top of you, also stays on top of you early on, I would say, because both of these heroes have Cleave, so they're going to be matched up nicely considering how many stacks will be made. Tiny, if it's a position 1 Tiny, that's what we're talking about. We don't see Toss being maxed out, it's more of a like 4-1-4 plus ulti type of a build.
Yeah, and then Sven is more consistent, right, with the cleave. He's able to take those stacks much more consistently than the Tiny is until, of course, you get that shard. Also banning out the Beastmaster. Banning Beastmaster, picking Lycan, giving yourself the option to push early on, while also removing the ability for your opponents to do any kind of similar moves. And with that Helm of the Overlord build, we are seeing more and more often. Void Spirit banned out as well. We saw that in Elephant's previous series. Someone has taken that Void Spirit to new heights. Lifestealer, though, an interesting one.
He's really good in the lane against Lycan. Lycan can't run. If you pair him up with the position 4 that doesn't have a stun, doesn't have a slow, you might just be a food for this Lifestealer, but as we've seen so many times, Lycan can go into jungle and just farm there. It's not as efficient as in the lane, but still you get the farm. And Tidehunter being banned out, no surprise there. One of the better counters against Lycan. We've seen Tidehunter being picked at a lot of different positions. Off lane, mid, position 5, Anchor Smash. You just can't be killed by Lycan. You don't take damage.
Banning out that Rubik, a hero that's notoriously good against the Weaver, right? Being able to steal Shukuchi, but also can steal some of Elder Titan spells and set things up nicely for himself. We still don't know exactly where that Weaver's heading.
Tons of minus armor already from ET and Weaver. I want to see some kind of physical damage that they pair it up with. Can be a position 1 Weaver still. Maybe you don't...
Yeah, like we saw the Vici Gaming guys, right? Go that Tidehunter, Weaver, Elder Titan, Shadow Fiend. There's something else in there as well. So good. And they were against the Tiny in particular, right? Having Grow give you all that armor. Having minus armor feels incredibly nice. But instead, the Night Stalker, yet again.
Night Stalker lost a couple of games already. Fnatic, seems like they really love the hero. I'm also a big fan, so whenever I see this hero, I'm like, yeah, you get what you need. You get damage, you get a scaling offlaner, which seems to be very popular in this meta, even though we're only 1 day into TI. But considering how many professional, like high-level pubs I watched, I've seen this hero quite a lot, and he is one of the cores. He actually might be the best scaling offlaner.
Outside of Nature's Prophet, who just best scaling hero in general because of global teleport, I guess.
Yeah, but overall, like if you get Night Stalker farmed, if he can get Echo Saber BKB plus one more item, he's just insanely strong. The talents, I played a game the other day. I picked up double damage with Echo Saber BKB. I had 700 damage on this hero, and I did that with a double hit. It's insane how much damage this hero can deal in a short period of time.
Yeah, it's always interesting seeing these heroes kind of shift here and there because you think back, like a year ago, TNC were picking Night Stalker position 1 at it was ESL, where they go Aghanims Rush, and now you just don't think about Aghanims at all at Night Stalker. You think right-click damage, I want to punch people, use my Dark Ascension. Get that Echo Saber going, like you said. Back to Elephant though, ball's in their court. Tiny Lycan, more likely than not, core heroes, we're led to believe here, right?
Yep.
So maybe looking for one of their supports at this point in time. And Lion's going to be it. So something we were looking for in the previous series against a Weaver. Given to us now that Hex, Stun, and Finger of Death, Lion can pretty much solo kill a Weaver no matter what role he's in.
This Phoenix ban makes a lot more sense right now. One of the better counters to the Night Stalker, makes your hero almost unplayable. Supernova, Daytime, it's the spell that overrides everything, so it's going to be Daytime no matter what.
Daytime, nighttime. What would you want to pair with your Lion then? A Snapfire. Okay. It gives you the ability to, cookie in your Tiny or your Lycan when you're chasing people down. A good laning support as well.
10 seconds remain.
And who do you want to put the Snapfire with, though? I would look at this and think that usually Snapfire is the position 4, so more likely with the Lycan than Lion with the Tiny.
It depends what Lycan is going to be paired up against. Like, if they need someone to stun people, it's going to be a Lion. You can still play, like, position 4. Lion even from the safe lane, so a lot of flexibility. They just shown their 2 heroes. When I see Lion Snapfire, it just immediately reminds me of T1. This is a duo that they've ran so many times throughout the first and second season.
Well, Fnatic shift things across, so Weaver no longer going to be that position 1, it looks like. Hand that over to the Medusa instead. So what does that leave us with then? Weaver going to be a 4, Elder Titan 5, Night Stalker 3.
Most likely, Night Stalker, if he's 1 and Medusa is mid, or the other thing around, maybe if Night Stalker is mid, that's doable with Medusa because he comes online quickly. But I still believe it's going to be Night Stalker on the off lane and a mid that just buys time. Every single time you see Medusa, you need someone to be active out on the map. Oh man, it would be such a good Lycan Necro 3 book game against Medusa, against Weaver. Yeah, even Night Stalker just burning his small mana pool would be really, really good.
Yet again, we see that Invoker ban, like you've been mentioning, that mana burn. Very, very impactful when it comes up against the Weaver and the Medusa. And taking that out of the pool.
It's the other way around.
Yeah, you're correct. I just realized that as well. Never mind.
It's okay, Gary. TI is a stressful event.
Yeah.
I'll forgive you, but don't let it happen again. I'm putting this one.
You did this last game.
Notes.
I didn't give you minus points when you did this as well.
I did it a couple of times, sure. But you gotta make fun of yourself.
You do, absolutely.
And you did. All good. But this is also mana drain against Medusa, which will be really good. You have a great front line with Tiny and Lycan. Snapfire can also slow you down, deal damage from the back line. ET with the long... it's a long-range stun against the Snapfire ulti, but you need to be able to have vision. With Spirit, you can do it. Night Stalker should be able to provide vision, even with the Void. So I don't think Snapfire should be able to get a lot of ultis off. We'll see. Like, it really depends on the positioning.
It feels like Fnatic right now are putting a lot of their emphasis on the Medusa, aren't they? They don't have much catch. They don't have much nuke damage to be able to get on top of someone, kill them off. It's very much Medusa moves forward when she's got an item. We sit behind her.
Fnatic needs control. Fnatic needs someone that can control this Lycan because they have nothing. Lycan can easily roam around freely. They have no stuns coming out from their position 4. ET's okay, but this is a very fast lineup from Elephant. Tiny, I believe that this is going to be Van Tiny. So that means he comes online quickly with the stacks, a lot of tower damage. So you need to be ready. Like you can't just have ET running around with level 1 stomp because it's going to be a real problem.
10 seconds.
One
remaining.
final ban for Fnatic. We'll see what they get up to.
5 seconds remain.
If we are looking for that mid hero, you know, maybe he's played that Shadow Fiend to some pretty good success. Now, get rid of the Ursa though. Do you still consider Ursa like a counter to the Medusa?
Counter to Medusa, yeah, indeed. Because you build into Mask to have some sustain, opens up the Roche if you're close by. So, but once you get to the Fusel Blade, I've seen a couple of games in the Chinese region where I thought, you know, that there's no way that Ursa is gonna become a counter. This is when Battle Fury got nerfed. Everyone was buying Battle Fury, and then like this new build came up with the Mask into the Fusel Blade, and he actually does a ton of damage to Medusa. Like it's an actual counter.
Especially if you're able to, you know, get in and out of fights and you get those Fury Swipes stacked up and extended duration on them. You can actually get in onto Medusa, then run away and come back in for another little nibble.
This is such a great lineup from Elephant.
Yeah.
I don't even have to like see the last pick from Fnatic.
Admiral Kunkka.
Gonna be Kunkka, someone that can control him. It's okay against Lycan. Problem is they don't have enough damage for the Dragonite early on. I feel like this is a free Dragonite game where you don't care too much about Weaver. You have a lot of extra armor against the ET. Yeah, it's looking good even in the lane against Kunkka. Kunkka is a lane dominator usually. Somnus on the Dragonite will have a lot of sustain.
It felt like that DK pick was so perfect. Like no matter what you pick up against us, DK is just going to sit there and get himself some gold.
Just do some Dragonite things.
Do some DK things. Well, it does solve some problems for Fnatic though. You know, Chuan here on the Kunkka is going to be able to catch people, X mark, drag them back, allow this Jabs ET, this Death Knight Stalker to actually do some damage in the team fights, because it does look like they could suffer in shorter team fights. They need them to be much more extended around the Medusa.
Fnatic's lineup is very good at protecting. Let's say Medusa, Elephant decides to go on Medusa. There is a silence from the Night Stalker, Kunkka with the boat, make her even more tankier, ET with the stomp into ulti, so they need to be careful. Elephant has enough burst damage coming up from Lion and Tiny, so these supports should die.
Well, we'll see how they get going. Game one of this best of two. I mean, Fnatic, how they look so far on the group stage? A little bit shaky?
They're 1-1, while Elephant is 2-0, I believe.
And now's the time. Start picking up wins for yourself.
Elephant, they, spoiler alert, mute me. If you want to watch the games later, Elephant 2-0 against Beast Coast, and Vici Gaming against Fnatic 1-1.
Okay. Well, let's see if they can continue the winning ways on Elephant, or if Fnatic can start to bring up some more victories against these Chinese teams. Oh, I do love this Dragon Knight cosmetic. Such a handsome man.
Please refer to him as Davion.
Davion.
Oh, look at him raise his eyebrow.
Yeah, he's moving his eyes as well. I thought the game's paused, he's blinking, and
everything's paused except Dragonite's eyes.
He
has beautiful eyes, though.
I wish I could zoom in even closer. What a wonderful man. So yeah, Somnus on that DK, so that means Yang on the Lycan, Eurus or Paparazzi playing the Tiny, FY Lion and Super, the Snapfire, and Somnus calls the G to go. Fnatic, any surprises on their role attribution? Everything looks pretty normal, right? Raven, Medusa, Death Knight Stalker, Chuan playing that Kunkka, DJ Weaver, and of course the position 5, Jabs, heading back up to top, the Elder Titan.
Yeah, seems pretty standard. I mean, Kunkka can be flexed in certain situations. You can play him as an offlane, something that Virtus Pro did. But it seems like there's not going to be too much complication in terms of roles for Fnatic. Scouting out for a ward.
Trying to. Got taken down there, little Wolfie. Did you see that video clip of Lycan getting like 3 courier kills before the creep spawned?
No.
No. Lycan spawned as wolves, ran them into Radiant base, and 3 players placed their courier like outside the fountain, like these ones are. He just sent the wolves in, killed off 3 couriers.
Gotta try. Thanks for the tip, Gary.
Yeah, keep your eye on Reddit. There's all these little tips and tricks out there. Some very smart people. Kunkka trying to kill off one of the little doggos. Not successful though. No last hit so far. I mean, look at this. Elephant defending both top runes. And I think they're going to do it again. Yeah, send wolves over to the right-hand side to maybe try and deny one of the right-hand runes. Fnatic going to have to get a move on. Get a cross here to them. Oh, there it is. Yang denies it. As up towards the top spot, Jabs is being pummeled. First blood's coming as FY looks for it, but the salve is there. Jabs,
oh, and the miss
uphill, doesn't cancel it either.
That's huge value. He can come back to the lane, otherwise we'll need to go back, heal, and TP, so you lose 100 gold, you lose some presence in the laning stage. Medusa would be alone.
Super TPing back down to bottom, so we've got that snap tiny there, which does mean that Lion heads up to top. Night Stalker and Weaver bottom lane. Super with a sentry, DJ with 1-2. That first sentry battle though is always so vital for the Weaver, and who can come out on top. They're trying to put the pressure onto Super so far. And we have lost JJ, by the way, so apologies in advance for any missed kills, but I'm going to blame it on Lacoste because he is my co-caster.
I'm a co-caster, I'm not controlling the camera, otherwise you'd be very dizzy.
Very dizzy indeed. Well, we've seen a rune deny, we've seen a first blood attempt, and we're going to find a courier kill bottom. No, we're not. DJ's still trying to look for it. But they have microed the courier deep into the forest. Safe and sound away from the grasp of the Weaver, who does Shikuchi back into that bottom lane.
Pretty much the same lane coming up from Fnatic is what Thunder Predator did. Night Stalker plus Weaver. They had to deal with Nature's Prophet. This time around, Snapfire doesn't provide that much in terms of control, harassing, being annoying in the lane. So I expect them to do a much better compared to the previous game that we were casting.
And then up towards top, Elder Titan. Defending the Medusa, 9-4, much better start. As Yang. Quelling Blade and no other items on the Lycan. Oh, we missed it. DJ finally gets the courier snipe.
This is a big problem, because you plant that Observer ward on the high ground, and with Weaver you can't use the courier, because she's too speedy, and with Geminate attack you one-shot him.
Yeah, it's a real pain in the backside, and they did win the sentry battle. Dire gets rid of the Radiant one. Eurus just trying to chip away at DJ and Death there in that bot spot. And what's up in the mid lane? Just a farm trade between the two. Chuan missing out on the Torrent. Somnus with a couple of denies over the Kunkka at this point. Does have the bottle. And the water rune spawning up means a quick little trip off to the rune spawn. As DK will fill up his. But do you like this? Kunkka not going for the bottle rush? The double bracers coming out for him.
Double Bracer makes him more tanky, and also you get a bit more survivability in terms of like the rotation from position 4. You're still gonna need mana. So Clarities, Mangos will be needed brought by Chuan. If someone asks me who's not gonna go for bottle in this matchup, I would definitely say Dragon Knight. Getting a Soul Ring gives you that mana, but also you can get a bottle. There's nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely not. Another courier down. So that's DJ with 2 kills on couriers. One of the snap, one of the tiny. Does take a decent chunk of damage there from Super though. In mid lane, we're not going to see any real kill threat. Death and DJ having another go at Eurus. But it is a slow and arduous battle to try and chip through the tiny. A hard exterior.
Yang didn't buy any of the items on Lycan, just went for a Quelling Blade, I believe a set of Tangos, and Rush that Helm, which gives you 6 armor and 5 HP regen, so you don't really care too much about being harassed, plus also the Feral Impulse bonus HP regeneration. That allows FY to try to stack the jungle, and the Ancients already made 1 stack. gonna be really good for Tiny. Even, I mean, Dragon Knight can farm it, but needs to have a level 2, so that means the stacks are for Tiny.
And of course, rushing straight into that helm for Lycan means he's going to be online that much faster. FY draining all the mana away from Jabs and also kills off his courier. Elder Titan, with not too much to work with here, has to deward his pull camp to try and reclaim some of the lane that FY's taken away from him. It's a decent large camp stack, but again, with no mana to work with, life is hard. Feels like a solid start here from Fnatic. Especially when you've got a Medusa on your team. The fact that First Blood hasn't been spilt, none of these lanes are really losing out. Everyone's getting their fair share of farm. Means Fnatic probably feel like they're in a really good spot here.
Now during nighttime, bottom lane needs to be more careful. Tiny has no mana, 5 stick charges, Weaver full HP, so you need to be very careful. There's ton of kill potential. Right now they need to pull the lane back, exactly what Super is doing.
And they're even microing the couriers around, knowing that Observer Ward could have still been up there. Taking the long route, but Eurus gets his treads at long last. A little bit more regeneriving for him as well. As DJ replaces the same Observer Ward right under the nose of Super. And goes back in with a cookie. Doesn't have Scatter Blast though, instead opting for that second point in Lord Shredder. Oh, 13 denies on this DK. Somnus really showing Chuan who's boss.
Somnus is playing really, really well.
And
No
FY,
damage to the tower with the first dragon form, but still now they're gonna start playing Chuan.
yeah, stun into Cookie. FY's here, looking to claim the kill on Chuan. He turns with a boat, a little slap down, but he's not finished just yet. He's still alive. Bails away, and Somnus gonna die. DJ with the first blood. Fnatic turn it around beautifully.
Yeah, this is something that we talked about. Bottle against the double Bracer build. If that was a bottle charge, I don't think he would survive, but Bracer giving him a bit more tankiness. He was so close to dying, got the boat off, and that's Rum buff, keeping him alive.
Up towards top though, they do have a good stomp from Jabs. Lacking a little bit in the damage department, but they've got the finishing touch from that Elder Titan. FY unable to save the day for Yang.
Oh, Eurus needs to be careful here. Death approaching.
Not level 6 yet though on the Night Stalker. Would love to have a Dark Ascension right here as Eurus tries to turn back in towards the Night Stalker. Very ballsy play there from the two Elephant members.
What a
and
play
Super,
from DJ.
yeah, gets body blocked. Can't pass through the trees as the Weaver Shikuchi is straight in front of him.
Wanted to go with me. With that turn charge, Night Stalker will be almost the full HP. Has infused Raindrop for a cookie, for tiny spells, so I don't think Night Stalker dies. Even has that 1 point in Dark Ascension for some extra damage, for the vision that it provides.
Oh, ET. They wanted that. Night Stalker was even TPing there as they looked to bring 4 heroes into mid to try and pick off Somnus as he did pop that dragon form. A tier 1 tower taking what, 500 odd damage. Dragon form only going to last another 10-15 seconds or so. And looking for that 8-minute rune. Grabs himself a haste. Eurus with Super. Aiming towards death yet again. But Night Stalker just has so much armor.
Yeah. It's a hero with a lot of base armor. You build naturally into phase boots. Very hard to bring down. 17 when sitting at tier 1 tower.
Oh, it's bonkers. And with the help of DJ down here, nothing really can stop that man. Well, a 3-kill lead, but all things considered, still a very, very tight game between the two squads until Death gets off his ultimate. Super, not standing a chance. Does get a good cookie onto the two of them, and Eurus, having spent his avalanche, only has a toss to play around with. Now, dived under his tier 1 tower.
He's banging the tower.
And Jabs is arriving. TP from FY tries to turn it back and defend the Tiny around this objective. Fnatic not wanting to go any deeper, but look at them swarming around this bottom lane. They're going to have 4 heroes here in towards the Tiny. Another TP. Snap has respawned, wants to rejoin the battle. Another good Earth Spike though as FY claims up with the help of the DK, that life of Jabs. The boat crashes
Cookie
in,
out.
but Tiny's still alive, even with a massive Tidebringer. Yura survives.
Oh, that cookie is going to be very valuable against the Kunkka.
Oh, they got the Dragon Tail on Jab, onto DJ, sorry. FY and Super still here. Swarmed out, but Somnus with that maxed out Breathe Fire takes out the Weaver.
Unfortunately, that did not have enough mana pool. Night Stalker hero. His mana pool pretty limited. Can't have everything. You mentioned the high armor, strength gain. Need to have a mango or a full mana, otherwise you're not gonna have enough. Very costly. Dark Ascension 125, Void 115. So you need to be able to spam your spells. While all this was happening, Raven just continues to farm. We're gonna see that again. Durus. He's a bit under-leveled, level 5.5, 9 minutes in. He's going to need to be farming those stacks to make a comeback.
Man, Raven did a significant amount of damage to that mid-tier 1. Ancient stacks now to be cleared up by him. I mean, net worth-wise sitting just under 5k, but I guess with the Ancients he will hit that mark. And Fnatic looking to defend their mid-tier 1, but it's a catapult wave with a Lycan shapeshift. Hellbear Smash has arrived. Chuan, he wants to boat out. A good stomp there from the ET. Actually holds back Elephant. Very disciplined by Yang to not continue that aggressive angle in towards mid.
They want this tower. Elephant, no dragon form. Even Medusa comes. The importance of this tier 1 tower is, I mean, we call it the most important tower in the game, so you want to take it as early as possible. And we can see Raven even rotating just to be able to hold it against Lycan. They understand. Elephant's lineup is very fast. They want to come online first. Lycan ulti usage, they didn't get too much out of it. A bit of a tower damage. He managed to kill the tower on the top, while Elephant's still keeping their tier 1 bottom tower alive.
Is this something we usually see from the Lycans? Helm into Vlad's before going Overlord?
Yeah, that's Helm of the Overlord.
Oh yeah, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, they changed it. It's okay, Gary.
My brain just had a major lag.
These things happen.
Oh,
It's
thank God you're
okay.
here, Lacoste. You saved me.
DJ. Once again going, we see that position for Weaver going into Spirit Vessel. The overtime damage combined with the bugs is too good, reducing the healing on heroes like Dragon Knight. That's going to be great. Also Tiny. Lycan, like, makes a lot of sense.
And Chuan closing in on that armlet.
Look to their middle tower.
Right, it's Fnatic again making these first steps forward. Dark Ascension over the tier 1. They get the vision from the Spirit and they cancel FY's TP. A few swift clicks in from Death. Gives him the kill. Looked like they might want to have handed it over to Raven.
Medusa, but then realized, you know what, I'm playing Night Stalker, I can easily become a core, why not take it? Which I think is fine. Medusa gets the farm anyway, he leaves the tower to Medusa. I don't think he's going to be stealing it from her.
Oh, here it comes. Vlad's done over on Yang. He's got that trusty shovel, picking up bounty runes as well. And there's just so much pressure on this map from the DK. And this Lycan with his helm. Starting to become a bit claustrophobic for Fnatic, so it's nice to see them step out and make a bit of space for themselves. But Night Stalker without Dark Ascension, looking a little worse for wear in that bottom lane. Blasted by Mortimer.
A level 1 stun is 2.25 seconds, so still enough to actually kill him there. One thing that Elephant is going to try to go for is Roshan, so they need to set up some kind of vision. Because Helm is about to be done on Lycan.
It's not too far away. Just a couple of hundred. Now, speaking of vision, Elephant. Oh, they just saw that smoke, didn't they? Chuan and Jabs. They're roaming across. No, that's Dire Vision. I didn't see the smoke. Radiant Vision will now spot them. Allows Yang to get off the shapeshift. Earth Splitter with that X-Mark boat catches onto Lycan. Yang, though, still at half HP. He's able to turn around and fight. Claps down and Jabs is gone. FY with his first finger stack.
A bit limited on the damage. This Lycan, 1700 HP, 15 armor. very hard to bring down. It's very important for Fnatic to be able to hold their ground and let Raven farm. Right now, he's staying 1k gold ahead of the second on the network charge, and that's a Dragon Knight.
It's all about Raven, isn't it? It's about him getting his items, him moving forward on the map and setting up for objectives. And like you said at the end of the draft, Fnatic, they can defend the Medusa very well with the lineup that they've got. Somnus a little bit out in the open here. And his Blink Dagger probably not going to save him from that X-Mark Torrent. Combo it up with everything they've got. Fnatic bring the numbers down onto that DK and get Raven. A nice kill there, his first of the game, in fact.
Jab has made sure with Spirit that he can't go for any sneaky play, try to blink out, as you mentioned. And now tier 1 tower, very low. Death providing vision, we'll just go for the tower. The power of Echo Saber, Night Stalker.
Yeah, some Lycan creepies around. Trying to deal with the Medusa illusions, but they can't stop the tower from falling. And they're going to hand over a fair amount of gold there.
That's 250.
That's free money for Fnatic. They're going to go straight into that Radiant Triangle too.
Gotta check for any stacks.
Still 30 seconds cooldown there. Oh, actually, Yang's already grabbed himself a dragon. I thought he'd lost out on his creep without having a replacement, but he does. And it's smoke time for Elephant. Yeah, they feel like they need to do something. You can't keep losing momentum to this Fnatic side with a Medusa.
Lycan ulti is available. Finger not for another 30 seconds. Blink Dagger. They're not synced with the items. Like usually at this point you would want your Tiny to have another item. Either a Blink Dagger or a Shadow Blade. I think Shadow Blade's completely fine. You can try and, make that a Silver Edge at one point. Yang.
Yeah, forced to shapeshift defensively again. Let's see if they can make it work, because the cookie away from the rest of Fnatic, it helps. And Chuan unable to finish off the job that was started, but that shapeshift cooldown, such a long one that Elephant would like to play around, used yet again on the back foot.
Cookie is a great counter to Kunkka's combo, as we already seen a few times. Just be there, use your Cookie, and that's the stuns that they got. It's Kunkka plus EP, FY.
Yeah, it was a good torrent into Tidebringer. Another Tidebringer, but not enough to finish off the Lion. Cookies and blinks out. Interesting back and forth there between the two.
I think the play there was Night Stalker just use Void instead of trying to silence him, because there would be enough damage with another Tidebringer that they used. It's also a bigger range compared to the Crippling Fear. Shadow Blade about to be done on Tiny, which means that they can't. I would not be surprised if they smoke again when the lanes are pushed and just try to go. When we're talking about the carry-to-carry matchup, Tiny is great, but when you're against Medusa, Scotty really cripples you. That movement speed. Dead.
Yeah, living up to his name. Another finger stack there for FY. Really stepping out of bounds as that Night Stalker. That's bottom tier 2. Really not your side of the map to be staying alone on. That's Fnatic who smoke. We were expecting Elephant to do it with this Lion Blink. You mentioned that tiny Shadow Blade. He even has the Fey Grenade. And he'll TP in towards mid.
Tiny.
Oh, it's huge, isn't it? That Fey Grenade.
It also gives vision, which is very nice against Fever. And there's the smoke. Smoke and smoke action. Triangle not devoted yet for Elephant. Surprised that they didn't place down any sentries, considering that they saw Fnatic being in the triangle.
I wonder if Fnatic saw that. Bounty Rune got grabbed up. They're playing this very tight together, like a buddy system here. DJ and Chuan. Level 13 Kunkka with an armor. He's going to slip away from Elephant. I don't catch a glimpse of anyone. No one to be found. Straight down to bottom lane for Raven, who is, what, 1,000 away from Skadi. Such a prominent position to be in.
Raven is just chilling this game. Being able to free farm. Didn't die a single time. Skadi, Manta style, 20 minutes in. I don't think you can ask for more from your carry.
Will attempt to go for Roshan now as Elephant. Fnatic don't seem to have a good grasp of what's going on inside the pit. Until that ET Spirit will scout it out, slow down Elephant. But they continue going. Roshan down to less than half HP, down to a quarter now as the Swarm comes in. Connecting onto the majority of Elephant and Roshan himself.
That he has ulti if you want to scout things out. There
He's
we go.
got to use it sooner rather than later. That's a good stomp. Eurus caught up in it. Shapeshift out from Yang. Roshan very nearly dead, but there's that spit of lava out from Mortimer. Clears out Death.
Fnatic
Somnus
just
with
going for Rosh.
that DK form. He jumps in, but here's the Torrent boat connecting onto two. Roshan's dead and Jabs takes it. Raven from the outskirts trying to continue this fight, but they do lose the Elder Titan. Chuan stunned up. Can't armor toggle through that one. Taken down by Elephant. A 2, now a 3 for nil.
That was very interesting, I gotta say, Gary, where you go in. Nightsucker was providing vision. They used both inside the pit and wanted to take the Aegis. Not on the hero that they wanted. Everyone was clicking real fast there. Good initiation from Elephant, though, taking out the Night Stalker, so he did not deal any kind of damage. Raven also a bit too afraid. Look where he's standing. Did not pop the ulti. Had it ready.
Couldn't get there in time. And now Elephant straight back out on the map. Sure, they lose the Aegis, but taking down DJ is going to feel pretty good as they rack up a 3k net worth lead. One of those cases now, you just ignore the Medusa, kill everybody else, and walk it down towards the Dire base.
It's not just that they ignored Medusa. Medusa ignored his own team there. I wanted to see Medusa go in. She's super farmed, very tanky. Dragonite stun was already used. Plus, I don't think Finger was available, and they already repositioned with the Blink Dagger, so it was a good time for Medusa to strike back.
Well, Chuan, again, looking to start things off. Cookie disjoints Eurus away from the combo. And even with Raven and Skadi, Fnatic unable to keep chasing. It looks like they want to try and smoke again, though. Jabs is ready with it. Night Stalker, we're 15 seconds away from ulti. 3 minutes until nighttime.
Am I seeing this correctly, Gary? Check the Roche pit.
Is it still there?
Yeah, Jinkyu, permanent.
It's adorable. Look at him. He's so happy.
Don't worry,
Do we know who
Mortimer,
placed it?
I'm still here.
I don't know.
Oh, it's gone now.
It's gone now,
I'm sorry.
unfortunately.
I looked too long, didn't I?
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Should have looked away.
Can't have enough of Jinkyu.
You can't. Well, there is that Fnatic smoke all the way across the map and for nothing. One observable placed, but no Radiant heroes anywhere nearby. Somnus, he'll show in towards mid. Eurus shows top. And Fnatic realise that they have to adjust their plan. But it feels like at this point you're kind of chasing ghosts if you're running around the map looking to try and hunt down Elephant. I'd much rather this if they just brute force somewhere. Put Medusa up at the front, push down tier 2s, and do something of your own accord.
Tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Both teams want to take tier 2 tower. Torrent to scout things out by Chuan.
Radiant's bottom tower
It's still gonna take some time to take this bottom tier 2 while Eurus might continue. They're hunting. They want to take out the outpost
Dire's top
to be able to
tower is
TP, especially if there's a fight coming there for the buyback TPs.
Such a nice ancient to have here. The Thunderhide with a frenzy. Put it onto Tiny. 75 attack speed for 8 seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Allows that Eurus Tiny just to pummel into people.
Big item, Gary.
What's that?
Lycan decided to go for the Aghanim Scepter.
Ooh. Who's he going to wolf bite?
Oh,
The Tiny?
He's gonna bite the Tiny.
Bite the
yeah.
Tiny? That's a bit tasty. I mean, imagine that. A wolf-bitten Tiny with frenzy from the Thunderhide. That sounds incredibly nasty. Oh, jeez. Fnatic, they're doing a good job at
Bottom tower is
creating a
under
pocket of space for themselves, you know, taking bottom outpost.
It's a 40% crit chance.
Gold for
That's
my
level
chest.
2 ulti. Critical damage 175%. That's gonna hurt. Plus the shared lifesteal on top of it.
Yeah, plus this tiny shard now, so he's got that permanent tree grab. And quadruple wards down down this bottom jungle. Fnatic really have set themselves up a base camp down there. And it looks like Elephant are going to try and come through, maybe think about getting some D-wards going. Let's see, Super's got a couple of sentries. FY doesn't really have much. And it will be Fnatic smoking. Play towards their vision. But Elephant knows that something's up.
Courier coming on the high ground. They know. They know that there is a ward. Nice read from Elephant into smoke. I don't think this observer. It caught a glimpse of them. So Fnatic is aware.
They're aware something's up. But where do they go? Do they hold a high ground? I mean, DJ is scouting. He's looking to pop and break that smoke of Elephant. It looks like he should be successful, but he might get caught himself. The dust comes just a little late. No blink DK stun, no hex either, and it looks like Fnatic still looking to battle, but the damage onto Death secures the kill on Night Stalker in a blink of an eye. Raven now on the run. You've got Stone Gaze and
damage from
Eurus. The Lycan Tiny shreds through jabs, buys back on the ET as the boat comes crashing down and hits onto the line. Oh, look to claim up FY's life as that Earth Splitter cuts the team fight in half and Jabs dies again.
Medusa's out of
Centaur,
mana.
Stomp and Raven. He's been picked off, isolated. The Medusa, another crit out from Tiny. An Elephant, a beautiful team fight from them. Eurus with a triple kill and Fnatic with no hopes.
Oh, Jabs even bought back in that fight.
He died back.
It's gonna be a tough one. There's not gonna be any item progression for him, but we can see the power of Tiny once he's bitten by a wolf.
Yeah.
Let's check that again. Night Stalker, every single time, he needs to be careful. Decided to go for a Blink Dagger. I would prefer if that's a BKB, possibly into a Blink Dagger, because you get stunned by a Lion, you get stunned by a Dragon Knight, there will be enough burst damage to bring you down.
And Eurus, straight onto tier 3. Nothing can stop this man now. 5-0-4. Tiny doing some significant structural damage, and there we go, the Blue Wolf back at it again as the full lane of barracks is claimed up by Elephant.
Bonus damage on Tiny from that Overlord Helm is a bit too much. Now even has critical strike of his own, plus a break mechanic on the Shadow Blade.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And now it's Elephant's turn to come and claim a bit of territory. Vast swathes of land now belong to them.
I believe he also has a cleave. I think I saw that correctly, where he has a cleave because of the 3 grab while he's in wolf form.
Yeah, he should do.
Yeah.
Absolutely should do, yeah. So he's cleaving and critting.
Dire's
I want to do back up a little bit, Elephant. Not wanting to stay too long across there, but a little Wolfie spotted the smoke.
Elephant is just buying items to deal with the rest and then deal with Medusa. You can see Heaven's Halberd on Dragon Knight, mischance, some status resistance, damage for Dragon Knight since he's a strength hero. And they can kill the rest. Like they kill the rest, they deal with the supports, Medusa pops the ulti, reset, this bitten Tiny with the Silver Edge does so much damage. He can blow up. I mean, he needs a bit more follow-up damage. Let's say 1 Hex from Lion plus a Finger. Kunkka dies. Kunkka is super tanky. Has 20 armor, 3.5k HP once the armlet is on. But if you get stunned, you're just straight up dead.
Oh, he's going to TP back. Not looking to X-Mark TP, just returns completely to the top lane. And bottom, I don't know, FY, he can clear it, doesn't need to contend with it. Oh, Eurus. Silver Edge and ready to strike. Raven presents himself up at the front, but a guaranteed crit from the Tiny clears the wave.
Now look at that. Tiny and his brother, Ancient Granite Golem. They kind of look the same.
2 peas in a pod. And Roshan, he's back. Aegis plus the shard. As the TP up towards top signals the intent for Elephant to
Solar Crest
get
on
in on
top of
top
it.
of them. There we go, the toss forward, but DJ has made a swift escape. The Weaver has shuffled away from Elephant. It does leave Roshan wide open though.
A bit of a misplay there. Dragonite got tossed instead of Weaver. But it's gonna be alright. They will kill Roshan. That's Aegis and Shard, as you mentioned.
Well, where's Fnatic going? I see some lines drawn on the map saying we're going to go around. But I think around is too slow. I mean, anyway, it's too slow because the DK blink stunned. In onto DJ with the kisses landing at FY's finger.
Earth Spike.
Blows up the Weaver. Raven now left stranded. The mana being drained forces out the Stone Gauge. Chuan needs to run back as well with no boat and no ability to fight. Fnatic just run for the hills.
I just don't think they have enough damage at the moment to fight Elephant. Medusa also went for Silver Edge. Can break Dragonite. What are we looking at? The DD Tiny, Solar Crest. They don't have the bite yet.
Oh dear.
Big Earth Spike there. We can see it again from FY. Keep them in place. Weaver dying. Two supports right now from Fnatic. Not really doing that much.
Yeah, not really. And again, it feels like it all comes down to if Fnatic are able to move forward, brute force somewhere, fight on their terms with a Medusa in position, their whole team just looks way better. But if they're the ones being jumped by Elephant, which is what has happened in the past several team fights, it all comes crumbling down around them. I was hoping there for this DD Tiny to go and do something. But it'll clear out a couple of waves, get down towards bottom. Settle themselves in for a tier 2 tower, it looks like. Yang, what is he, 800 gold away from that Assault Cuirass now.
They gave Shard the Snapfire. It's one of the better ones. I think I say that a lot, but in my book there are 15 to 20 Shards that are in top 5.
It's an extensive top 5.
Because it's a 2-second stun on a Snapfire.
That is so good, especially if you have you know, a blink or a force staff,
Yes.
some maneuverability.
And extra damage on top of that. And we see it one more time throughout the first day of the group stage of the International. How can you amplify your carry? In what way? We've seen Legion Commander press the attacks, Solar Crests, a lot of different stuff coming up from Io, and we see it again one more time. Lycan with the Aghanim Scepter, Solar Crest on top of it.
A Puppy picking Ogre for the Bloodlust.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's that. Grab the steroids, pump your carry full of them, make them big and strong. When Yang has had a pretty damn good game. With that starting item set, Floating Blade Tangos straight into the Helm of Iron Will.
These are very expensive items that Yang has in his inventory.
Yeah, 3 items, but all very, very worth it. Elephant still have this Aegis for quite some time, 2 minutes.
Medusa needs to start thinking about possibly getting a Rapier, because they lose a fight against Tiny, who doesn't rely on cooldown, has that permanent tree grab. The game just ends pretty much. Demon Edge bot will still decide, you know, whether he can farm 4,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess buyback-wise, we're looking at only 2 members of Fnatic who can actually get it off. Night Stalker and Weaver have it available, but Elephant, they are coming straight up towards your high ground, and no amount of torrent storming will stop them from coming up. Medusa does deny the tower, but Raven getting jumped on here by Eurus and Somnus. There's a torrent to defend the Medusa. Tiny still has Aegis though, and they've blown them up. Jabs and Raven down. GG is called, they know they stand no chance. Elephant with some great execution around this Lycan shapeshift wolf bite onto some seriously heavy hitting cores.
Fnatic lost the game when Medusa decided not to go inside the pit. She was at the top of the net worth, I believe 2 or 3k ahead of everyone else. Had the Manta style, had a full Scotty, and just did not want to go in.
Yeah, it felt like after laning stage, Fnatic just couldn't play their game. They weren't able to actually move forward and accomplish what they wanted. They didn't have anyone who would, was able to really start fights and catch or kill people. It was either Chuan starts it or there is no team fight. It was a rough one.
It was. This Weaver plus ET, it works well. I think bottom lane played really well for Fnatic. That plus a DJ, they managed to shut down Tiny. Maybe one of the play was to group up and take their stacks to completely shut down Tiny, because that's how he managed to come back into the game. Yang, top lane, you can't really stop him from farming. You have no stuns pretty much, so it's very hard to deal with that. He went for Helm, as you mentioned, as a first item. Pretty much unkillable.
Yeah, I mean, 17-7, a 33-minute game, and it looked like a one-way street. Elephant with a victory here in game one of this best of two. We'll take a quick break and return with our second game. Welcome back to Elephant Up against Fnatic. Game 2 is ready and raring to get on your screens. I mean, game 1 Lacoste is a pretty straightforward affair for Elephant, wasn't it?
It was. They managed to buff up their carry much harder, much stronger than Fnatic. So, yeah, it seems like that's going to be the thing.
Seconds.
The way Dota is going to be played at TI.
The trend,
It is Radiant's
the theme, the meta, if you will.
I've seen Lycan during the Season 1, Season 2. He was mostly biting other heroes, not a Tiny, because Tiny 1 was not a thing. I remember there was a lot of Troll, so that was super popular. This time around, Elephant, this is Elephant on land, you know. You see these players, you see Eurus, you see Somnus. For those who don't know, that's Paparazzi, and maybe you see Yang, FY Super. All these names are familiar, and these are people that play really well on land. Like, they don't, they don't shake. They're not afraid to play any of the teams here. They know how to play TI finals, so...
These are TI players.
Yeah, exactly. Tiny banned out by Fnatic, plus a Monkey King, and Io. No surprise there. One of the heroes that is left in the pool that we see across every... I think every region and every single game is Weaver, a hero that is super flexible. What else is there, Gary? Batrider is also one.
Yeah, Elder Titan's out there as well. But it's funny you mention that, right? The IO now across every region. That there was a time when China didn't touch the hero until FY started playing it, right? He was one of the first Chinese players to really pick up that hero and say, no, it's not just going to be you Europeans. We'll bring it over to our region and show you. Dominate with it. Well, Fnatic opting for the Tidehunter. We'll see if it heads in towards the mid lane like we've seen from Topson a handful of times now. Could be there for Chuan, but I guess more likely than not it will still stay as the 3.
Gyro is available if they want to go that route. Maybe not necessarily right now for Elephant. Of course, everyone knows IO plus Gyro. I've seen different builds on Gyro, I gotta be honest. I've seen 0-1-4 build and just stats after, plus ulti of course. Or I've seen like Kaya to have a bit more mana sustain, that you want to put more points in the Rocket Barrage. Let's see how they decide to deal with Io. That's my biggest concern, because these two heroes, like in the lane, Nature's Prophet is okay. Io doesn't deal well with the Nature's Prophet, but they don't have anyone who gets Spirit Vessel. These are not Spirit Vessel carriers. Nature's Prophet is very flexible. You can do it. It's not set in stone that you can't. It's just that you want different items if it's a core Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, if it is a support prophet, you could have that vessel or the medallion going to those utility support items if you want to. So you said the Elephant might not want to go for Gyro and rush it straight away in the first phase. What's the reason for that? Do you want to explain? Elaborate on it?
You can, but then you need to protect Gyro with the bans. You
I
can also flex it. It's flexible hero. You can play it as a position 5. You can play it as a 4. I gotta say, I've been playing Dota for half of my life, and I'm an old guy. Dota is in a state right now where everything seems like not necessarily like balanced. It doesn't have to be balanced. Some things are going to be less balanced than the others. It's just the flexibility thing. You can play heroes at different roles, and I gotta say, I really love it. They decide to go with Lina.
Yeah, another hero that, back in your day, back in our day, Shadow Fiend was a mid-hero, Queen of Pain, Lina, mid-heroes.
Yeah,
but
you
now,
can
now
play them at different roles.
Position 4 SF we've seen from, Yapzor, not this tournament, but others. Lina's the same thing, just put them wherever you want to. Utilize their strengths in different areas. And of course, Elephant did already ban out that AA, so Gyrocopter could still be an option for them. Now opting to remove the Invoker and the Puck. And we're still not sure where that Lina will be heading. Could be there for maybe, could be there for Super.
Could be their support duo. They're banning out Puck. Once you have Io, you need someone that has low cooldown stun. Dragonite fixes a lot of lineups that lack that. For some reason, Gary, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh dear.
I feel Ursa for Elephant.
Oh, okay. I guess Tidehunter, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily need to lane against him, because you can still swap things around, can get out of the Sprout with the Earth Shock, and just have Aya with you. And Ursa, it's a fast Dota. We've seen so many quick games today where you take Roshan. We've seen Roshan, 11 minutes in,
Yeah.
then you take the second one at 20, and you just end the game with the shard. There's a lot of good heroes that benefit from that shard. You need a carry hero that
Dyer's turn
IO,
to ban.
like you need some kind of a spell damage, someone who benefits from the attack speed. I don't think there's a carry that doesn't benefit from the attack speed. Don't get me wrong, but let's say Ursa, more attack speed means more over. What's it called again?
Fury swipes.
Yeah, Fury swipes. There we go.
10
Means more
seconds
stacks.
remain.
Means more damage. Means more heroes killed.
Yeah, but I think you're right there, right? The speed of the game and getting faster and faster. These Roshans being taken earlier, we were seeing these minus armor strats. We're seeing, a Weaver with a Swarm, Shadow Fiend out there with that presence of the Dark Lord, gushes from Tide Hunters. These fast Roshans mean you're able to cement yourself a much earlier lead and continue a snowball to dominate the game or to come back from a potential laning phase deficit. Elephant into that 5th ban now. Not quite sure what they want to take out. Looking down at Tide Hunter and Nature's Prophet, you're looking at team fight, you're looking at map positioning. These two heroes give you a lot, a broad spectrum of gameplay styles. So Fnatic not really locked into anything too much. So getting rid of one of the meta heroes that you were mentioning, there's that Weaver gone again.
Another hero that is very hard to catch. They have no reliable stuns. Lina can catch you with LSA, but it's not going to be enough, and we can see that. Fnatic already opening up in the second phase with the Storm Spirit. One of the better heroes overall against IO, gives you that even more global potential. You don't see anyone. Nature's Prophet, Storm Spirit, +1 hero showing. 3 heroes suddenly showing up. They need stuns. I said I don't mind seeing a Dragonite to fix some of the issues.
5 seconds.
Especially if that is your support duo, right? Because then you don't really have the options of heading into a Shadow Shaman as an example. But if it's Lina mid, we could go that direction. Does Earth Spirit solve your problems here with
Earth
silences
Spirit's
and
nice.
stuns?
Yeah, he's okay, but that means your Lina needs to be
Mid.
mid, yes. Unless you want to play Earth Spirit on the mid lane, which is also doable, but
It's been a while.
it's been a while indeed. I don't know. Dragonite just feels safe. It's been Chinese classic for a while. I mean, they have Super on the team. This is the guy that played Dragonite when no one did.
Dyer's turn. Relate.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, a hero that we were talking about a little bit in the green room got hit a little bit with a nerf stick. Where do you think she's heading? Because we've seen her in a multitude of roles, usually position 4 or mid in the hands of some players.
Looks like a 4. Because
10
it doesn't look like a
seconds
good
remain.
hoodwink game. You're playing into Storm Spirit. Anyone who
5
can catch you
seconds
inside the
remain.
trees is going to be a good counter pick. Got nerfed, as you mentioned. We were discussing that in the green room. So you cut down the tree. Her Q got buffed a bit, but I don't think it's enough. So you don't take damage in the laning stage.
It's all about bushwhacking to
Bushwhack.
sharpshooter,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So you cut down the tree. Suddenly you're not taking damage. You're not stunned.
And I guess it gives you a break against the Tide Hunter. I mean, it's not a vital part of the hero, but it's a nice little added touch that you do have there against Kraken Shell.
Legion Commander provides them with that, not necessarily low cooldown, but it's one of the heroes that can lock down the Tide Hunter. Like, it gives you ability that he can't Kraken off.
And then pairing Legion with Lina always feels pretty nice, right? Getting Laguna Blade into duels, finding guaranteed kills, potentially on that Storm or the Nature's Prophet as well.
Yeah, just a great setup overall. Legion Commander duel, Hoodwink, long range initiation, possibly a relocate from Io. And it's also a ton of healing once again. Io, you have Legion Commander with the press the attack. I just want to see what that hero is going to be. Tusk. Snowball save against duel. Love it. I think it's a good Tusk game.
So does this make us think it's Prophet 5? If we're looking towards a last pick for Fnatic here, Tusk 4,
10 seconds.
Tidehunter enters into off lane. Storm Spirit mid.
Yeah, they're keeping things open.
5
Tusk, I've
seconds
seen,
remain.
I believe, 2 offlane Tusks already
Okay.
today. Might be more, but these are the games that saw. Can't really watch everything, even though we have 4 or 5 screens to watch all of the game. But sometimes we need to work. We need to be here, try to entertain you.
It is Radiant's band.
Try to move the camera around and observe some games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how goes the Spectre? Another hero that's exceptionally good against the IO, and also the Hoodwink, like you were making the point about the Storm Spirit. Gap close, backline, backstabber. A good solid ban from Elephant.
10 seconds remain.
I don't know, I look at this Elephant draft and I feel like this is them looking to have some fun.
Lineup looks a bit squishy with Hoodwink, IO. Lina, if it's a mid Lina, and it looks like it's gonna be mid Lina, she can become relatively tanky. Boots of Travel, BKB.
10
I've seen
seconds.
2 different builds. A lot of people skipping
5
completely Yule Scepter and
seconds.
just going for the damage, which I think is kind of fits the meta and fits her talents and everything.
Yeah, you cut the chaff, right? You make sure there's no downtime, no redundancy. Just buy the items you need for the timing you need it. But man, I'm looking at this and thinking, if someone gets dueled, they're dying. Sharpshooter, Laguna Blade, don't need much more damage to go into a duel to just destroy someone.
It needs to be like one super carry hero. I think it's fine.
TB?
10 seconds
Ursa
remain.
is fine. I think other option is Troll. I don't mind seeing Troll.
They banned the Darks here, and that's what makes me think, is it TB here? I mean, Luna's a good ban for sure. Getting rid of that Darks here, though. Usually, like you say, you're looking for that
10
agi carry.
seconds
You also
remain.
need
Maybe
someone
Illusion
that
hero.
deals tower damage. Like Juggernaut is also okay.
5
Juggernaut feels
seconds remain.
fine in a lot of the matchups. Provides you with even more healing. You don't care about Tidehunter. They have
Radiant
no
must
abilities
choose.
other than Tusk.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. We talked about Gyro and completely forgot about him.
Yeah. 5 minutes ago, we were like, yeah, IO Gyro, the old classic. Some time passes, and our old man brains let it slip.
10 seconds.
Oh, Fnatic now down to
5
your last grab.
seconds.
I need someone who can withstand the pain that Elephant are bringing. So the Gyro picked up there, it really does look like everything is slotted into place, like you said. With that IO and Hoodwink being your support duo. Maybe we'll see Hoodwink slip into mid, but no, it's going to be the Lina mid. And Raven takes Razor as the last pick.
So it will be offline Tidehunter. DJ Tusk, Raven on Razor. Razor's fine. Like, you still have some tower damage coming out from possibly Nature's Prophet. The Razor, when he steals the damage, might be a bit tricky to siege the tier 3 towers with the lineup that they got. But they're really good at playing out the map, getting the pickoffs. Also, the saving potential from the Tusk against most likely Legion Commander's duel, a Gyrocopter when he uses his toolkit.
10 seconds.
Oh, we'll see what he gets up to. It looks like Eurus taking a little bit of time there to
seconds.
get up and stretch his legs before picking his
trying,
hero.
trying to confuse them.
Yeah. I'm not picking my hero. There we go. Well, the DJ Tusk, something that we've seen time and time again through the years. Exceptionally good on that hero. It really is the eye patch meta. Look, Nature's Prophet. Another one with the eye patch cosmetic. Seems very popular. Everyone following in the footsteps of Seb.
Does Gyro have one?
An eye patch cosmetic on Gyro. He's got goggles, doesn't he? That doesn't really count. You don't have very many. No,
I'm not a Gyro player.
apparently not. Which way are you leaning for this one? Because I think I agree that Elephant are very squishy, and if you know someone gets jumped by a Storm Spirit, it doesn't look good for them. But if Elephant are the ones moving forward, if they get a good laning stage and they start stampeding towards objectives, they've got a solid lineup here.
Last pick from Fnatic is really, really good. I think they utilize the maximum out of it, being able to deal with Legion Commander in the lane. Legion is a hero that doesn't lose too many matchups, but can be matched up against a hero like a Razor. Like, you don't do too much. I want to see Like you need to get an earlier boots of speed, possibly a wind lace, something that you do not want to do. You want to be able to pressure the enemy carry, and Razor's not that type of a carry.
Well, the double game opening sounds there. Ba ba. Got ourselves underway for game 2 here in the group stage. Elephant up against Fnatic. Elephant, of course, with that victory in game 1. Looking to secure themselves another win here, as it appears Fnatic are charging down the middle lane. So many more teams are doing this, guarding their side of the river to make sure there's no early scouting or dewarding going on, while also trying to figure out if their opponents are anywhere nearby as well. And DJ with a very swift observer ward placed on the enemy side of the river.
Even on the right side of the river, we have one observer board, so that kind of says we want to keep the vision. We want to see any rotations coming out possibly from the Hoodwink. Hoodwink, a lot of stats. I like that. This hero is super squishy. So Fairy Fire and 2 branches plus a circlet makes the hero a bit more tanky. You have almost 400 mana with it.
Yeah, much more stable and consistent than the Blightstone start that we used to see, right? Where sure, you output a decent amount of damage in lane, but yeah, you take it back just as bad. But yeah, the double wards mid. Very focused on trying to give this Storm Spirit a much better time. As Chuan is all the way back at his tier 3 tower in the mid lane. Where are they heading? Yeah, Raven is going to go back down towards bottom lane. That'll leave Death and Jabs up top, a tide in the Nature's Prophet. And DJ going to be your bottom lane support with that Razor. Facing off against FY and Yang, the Hoodwink and Legion. Maybe that Lina in the mid lane. And then
they're adjusting
the Gyrocopter
accordingly, putting DJ on the bottom with Tusk, so he can block people off, he can stun them, so can't TP. Razor definitely needs that. And also, having Tusk plus Tidehunter doesn't really sound that good. One of the reasons why Nature's Prophet was picked is to deal with Io. Eurus, we can already see him using the Flak Cannon. Level 1, harass the Treants, harass the heroes.
Static Link. This is why Raven's been put down here against the Legion. Super though. Spot a Bother up top lane, taking some heavy hits from Jabs. That Blightstone really does start to add up with the Treant damage. Fnatic off to a solid start here, as not only the side lane's looking good, but Storm Spirit is 7-1.
We discussed about the items on Nature's Prophet. Like, core Nature's Prophet does not want to build into Spirit Vessel / Urn. I like what I see. Nature's Prophet, Urn already, like just gonna rush it, the overtime damage. This is one of the items that is never bad. Having one on the team, I'm not gonna say is a must-have, but definitely feels good, and I hope they're gonna upgrade it eventually to the Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, such a handy thing to have. Eurus, again with a Flak Cannon. Just pushing that damage in towards Death. Super nicely done to play that left-hand side of the lane to stay out of the range of Jabs. A steady start for both sides there, is it? Looks like DJ just salving in behind his tier 1 tower. The difficulties you have here as Fnatic, you know, melee support against the range support, is FY just continually clicking at you.
Razor bringing boots. I like that as a first item, because this gives you kill potential, the chase potential, and this is something that Yang will probably do as well. Has Bracer right now, but will probably buy Boots of Speed to be able to break the link.
I like that from Maybe. Saw the Prophet faking the TP in towards the water runes, didn't even bat an eye, didn't blink, didn't flinch, went straight towards it. He's done some good damage here to Chuan as well. Catching up in the lane and now starting to lead in the denies. Feels good to be that Lina. As they do go onto Yang. There's a great pushback from FY though, as Jabs TPing down. A static link going onto that Legion Commander on first blood. It's going to be grabbed up here by Raven. Razor taking down the Legion of Yang.
They even used the salve, nicely done. One of the reasons why we mentioned that they decided to swap things around a bit, put Nature's Prophet on the top.
Somnus though. He's going for a solo, trying to get Chuan to drop low, and the Dragon Slave will do the trick. Does trade his
Oh,
life out
Jabs.
though to Jabs, he's gonna crack level 4 soon off the back of that. 200 gold to his name as well.
This is big. This is how you set up yourself for a really good game. First, he made a rotation to the bottom lane. If he manages to farm up earn, but right now just keeping... Oh, missed the CS there. Keeping the lane for his Storm Spirit to come back. We'll give him bottle.
Sorry,
He deserved it.
I wasn't watching what you were talking about. He was denying a bounty rune, and that was way more important for me. And the great thing about having Tide as your offlaner is he doesn't really care about anything, does he? So when Prophet TP's out, Tide just soaks everything up.
I agree. Tide doesn't die. We already see Gyrocopter does not want to go for Rocket Barrage type of a build. It was very strong before, historically. Against the Tide Hunter, you get close, plus a rocket, try to burst him down. Gyrocopters these days, from what I've seen mostly, is they try to get stats. Like, there are two different builds, either Crystallis into Aghanim Scepter or just Rush Ags. Both are fine in my opinion, it just gives you a bit more damage, and then you still have Crystallis, which farms up your Aghanim Scepter a bit faster, or you get Ags, possibly get the Maelstrom after, or just get a BKB if you need it. Really depends. Like, Gyro's super flexible in terms of the items.
It sure is. Super. Try and drag that lane back. Now Jabs has shown himself up top again. What have we got coming? Is that the full earn done on your Nature's Prophet? So far, Jabs has had a really stunning game, denying water runes and bounty runes. You know, of course, you mentioned killing off that Lina in the trade-off, but everywhere you look, Jabs is having an impact. You know, he's now TPing bottom lane again after killing off Yang once. They're going to TP in to try and take down FY, and it's simple as that. Didn't even need to complete the TP from Jabs. He just fake pumps it and stays top instead.
Legion Commander, not gonna say struggling, but this hero really dominates a lot of the matchups. This is not the case here. He's saving 1 point in case he needs to press the attack. I think it's much better to just get it. You're not gonna go 2-0-2 anyway on Legion Commander. You don't benefit too much from it, especially against a ranged hero, and yeah, he gets it straight away.
And you've got 2 mangoes, you may as well get some use out of them. Does skip away from the static link, and this allows Yang to turn back onto Raven. Jabs TP'd, but far too
Good Acorn.
off to the west. And yeah, I mean, FY, tag team's there on him, but Jabs and DJ just going to get chased and hounded here by Yang. Doesn't look like Storm Spirit wants to make a move down bottom either. Well, this time, the aggression from Fnatic going to bite them.
FY places another deep observer board. They want to see TP rotations when they decide to dive and just have vision. Surprised that didn't get dewarded.
Yeah, not going to get taken out. And while this is all going on, you know, Death left alone to his own devices, still 33 CS. The IO Copter can't really handle the Tide, and now he's got that full hood with a wand. Not going to be able to bring him down at all. And DJ deciding to TP in towards mid. Sentries in towards their mid lane as well, but there is no vision here from the Dire team, but the Radiant vision give them a perfect glimpse of Somnus on that Lina. The wand, the Fairy Fire, the heal from the IO, never enough. Even with a 2-man bushwhack from FY, Lina brought to her knees. Begging.
So much damage coming out. You get 3 heroes, the global presence that we talked about, and finally Nature's Prophet gets that Urn of Shadows charge, so that's some extra damage if needed, or a bit of a healing. Legion Commander can't lane against Razor anymore on the bottom. It's a bit too scary. 1 rotation from Tusk, stop a TP, plus a static link is more than enough to bring a kill. On the top lane, that I'd say pretty unkillable. They need to rotate a couple of heroes with the wand, with the full hood and full mana. Also Ravage, he just got it on level 6. A lot of players are either playing greedy, putting another point in the anchor smash, or just saving it. He knows, like, if they go for me, there's gonna be a TP rotation, just not enough damage. FY.
Yeah, Fnatic defending their wards. Trying to anyway, but FY is gonna sneak away after removing the observer that led to the death of the Lina not a minute ago. Even getting some vision down their own on that Radiant side of the river. Raven's Razor going straight into BKB after the treads. Grabs himself up a little broom handle. And he's going to be a real nasty force to deal with. As it looks like Yang. That chipped vest, phase boot, soul ring, considering his options next. What do you want, the blink dagger straight up from the Legion, or do you want like a blade mail first?
I don't mind blade mail. There's a lot of uncontrollable damage, especially from Razor. It's good against the Storm Spirit. I don't mind blade mail. Good.
Oh, there is the jump. A long one in from Chuan. Storm and Razor surrounding the Legion, and they're going to dip back to farm through the jungle, keep that efficiency going for themselves. As it looks like top lane, Death is toying with Elephant. That safe lane is safe no longer. He's cutting waves, he's dragging it around, he's trying to pressure the top tier 1.
It's one of the best feelings in Dota in general when you can do that. You know that you're pretty much unkillable and you can be annoying. It's exactly what he's doing right now.
I'm 1v2ing you. There's nothing you can do to stop me.
Might even 1 versus 3.
Yeah, look. Okay, yep. You spent your entire mana pool, and I'm going to heal that up in about 20 seconds. Not bothering me. And while that's happening, you know, 2 heroes there contending with him. They are farming through the jungle short, but you've got this Storm Spirit clearing through camps, pushing out that mid-wave onto the tier 1 tower, requiring some kind of response from Elephant.
Gyro decided to go for Crystallis into Aghanim Scepter. It's just cheap damage, 32 damage plus a critical strike. It's not the biggest one you've ever seen. It's not your PA with a Divine Rapier, but it's still, you know, decent amount of damage. You can join the fights, especially with Io tethered up.
Yeah, when they've got their maxed out overcharge soon as well. Super's going to be wrapping up the damage for them, but look at Chuan. In onto the Io, and the Gyro, good ravage from Death, and that's it. Jabs comes out with a killing spree, and Death finally gets to pull the trigger on his ultimate. Taking out 2 of Elephant, and with a catapult on the tier 1 top lane. It's all smooth sailing here for Fnatic.
Not sure Ravage was needed, but they got the kills, they got what they came for. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, DD on Somnus, plus Yang trying to go for that tower, keeping the catapult alive.
Ah, the Ravage was fine. He wanted to feel like he'd accomplished something. Look, guys, I've got to use my cooldown. Oh, attempted dodge there, it looked like, on the homing missile. Unsuccessful from Chuan.
Still, Elephant keeping the net worth advantage on their side. Gyro, he's one of the heroes that can flash farm, especially if you make stacks. And there is a big stack in their triangle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make it 5, yeah.
More than I can count the cost. There's so many Ancients in there. And Gyro's heading over. Flat cannon used. 6 hits to go. Even going to throw the cooldown in for good measure. I think you missed out on 1 flat cannon hit there, but it's all good. They'll still be able to whittle away at the Ancients and get another round of flaks.
It would be a really Chad move from Fnatic to try to go inside the triangle, because they have really nice heroes that deals with stacks. You have Tidehunter, who has 3 points in the Anchor Smash. Razor can help out and possibly get a kill. Maybe they were not so confident in going into triangle since Ravage was used.
Yeah, probably a big factor, right? No big team fight ulti, no real feeling they can go and contest it that heavily. And we do see Somnus here. You mentioned the skipping of the Yule Scepter. He does actually go for it. Is this to just make sure that he can always catch out the storm?
Yes, yeah, exactly. It also needs some kind of a mana sustain. I don't think it's affordable in this type of a game, considering how the game developed to go for the boots of travel.
Speaking of the storm, he tries, but relocate home. Yang going to get snowballed upon. I think he's got enough distance there. Even turns to try and fight. There's a duel, and FY with a sharpshooter aiming towards the DJ Tusk, looking to blow him up, but they don't get the duel victory or the kill just yet. The IO has tethered back to Yang, though, and they bring down the DJ Tusk, while Fnatic run, tail between legs.
Tough game for Yang. No dual damage, 13 minutes in. Managed to get a decent amount of farm, so we'll skip Blade Mail and go straight into Blink Dagger. I think that's a better choice here, considering that like Storm, he has pretty much a free game unless you bushwhack him or Lina stun or with the Yules, and there's always ways to protect him, especially at this stage of the game where Ravage will be available.
Oh, a bit of a push towards this tier 1 mid. We do have jabs arriving with a couple of Spirit Vessel charges. Eurus, he's angling towards a defense of the tower, but you don't have your full backing. Like you were mentioning, Yang is aiming towards the blink. It's being delivered now, so yeah, they're kind of missing out on this timing, and they're going to get jumped on. Eurus ravaged up. Storm Spirit just balls on top of him. Even with the heal and sustain from Super, it was never enough to keep him alive. Oh, a good block out there. Death, make sure he gets in front of Mr. President. Raven doesn't get tapped by the sharpshooter. And Elephant lose a tower, lose a team fight. Fnatic still dictating where this game's heading.
He needs to be a bit more tanky if he, or they need to have relocate ready. Love the play from that. Uses Ravage straight away to possibly hit IO. Not that easy to keep track on relocate timings and everything, so he just uses it. In this case, it's really justified.
Does leave himself wide open now, though, as Elephant looking to get some retribution. Snowball, it's there to buy a bit of time. Gets Death away from danger, at least for a few seconds. Elephant giving chase, but in comes a Storm Spirit towards the backlines. Juan, straight towards FY and Somnus. Maybe turns back onto Death and kills off the tide, but FY, he's lost his life, and maybe he's in trouble. Chuan just keeps on going the turn.
Chuan's out of mana.
Straight onto Super, and jabs. A rocket barrage damage from Eurus. They'll find the next profit. Even inside that Sprout, he cannot get himself out of there.
There's the reload.
They're
Storm's
moving
completely
forward.
out of mana.
They're playing aggressively. That's the Yule Scepter catching with a Light Striker connecting. They'll find Chuan. The turnaround from Elephant. Bushwhack and Missile. Find the Tusk. And 4 heroes collapsing.
They managed to get the duel off, but not, unfortunately no damage for Legion Commander. And we can see the buyback from FY. This will also bring Eurus closer to his Aghanim Scepter. This is the big time. Tidehunter needs to be careful.
Oh, they've got a duel. They find the jump straight onto Raven. Laguna Blade there with a sharpshooter as well. So much raw nuke damage. Well, that's what you're going to be wary of when Elephant, like we said, are the ones with front foot forward, playing aggressively. They can blow you out of the water completely.
False sense of security there. I have a BKB, they can't blow me up, but Yang, great initiation with the Blink Dagger. Oh, what is he going for? This is very interesting.
Yeah.
Legion Command might change things around. Good initiation there from Yang. Somnus had enough mana to blow him up with the ulti.
Oh, is that to
It's Lotus Orb, yeah.
to save the IO? To get rid of Spirit Vessel?
It's great against that, and it's also to use it on your carry. So
For Static Link?
Static Link, yeah,
Ah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
That's
It's also great against the Snowball.
It's a great item then, all round, yeah.
It is.
Oh, it's a sick pickup if he decides to go that route. Fnatic now feeling a little bit battered after the previous team fight, wanting to pick things up, get into the Roche pit, gather up that first stages of the game. Well, it looks like Elephant have no idea this is going on, and if they did, no real way to go and contest it. Don't want to fight into that ravage of death. There you have it. Raven, though, they want to grab it. Do you like that? Raven has BKB, and usually you take Storm Spirits, the better
I was
carrier.
thinking about it. Didn't seem like a good idea. I'd still prefer it to be on the Storm Spirit. We'll see. Could backfire. They get the kill, and they get the Obs kill on top of that, and now pushing the Tier 2 tower. Storm Spirit, no mana, has Kaya Sanj finished.
Yeah, big fan of this change in itemization, though. You know, no more Orchid Rush on Storm, no more Bloodstone. Treads Kaya Sanj. Makes you such a potent force without any downtime, right? Like Bloodstone, you're waiting for Bloodstone. Orchid, you're waiting for Orchid. With Kaya Sanj, you're just ready every step of the way. And he's gonna go. He's ready. He's always ready. Super trying to relocate. Jams has come in from the back, but he's out of there.
Super will gladly come back and die for his teammate.
Double damage.
We see Gyrocopter running down mid,
How
trying
many-
to find another place to farm. He's still staying on top of the network, almost 11k at this point, while Lina is about to hit 9. So Elephant getting a lot out of the map, even though Fnatic is the one who's trying to make the moves. I'd say they're on the clock with the lineup that they got. You have Storm Spirit, who's annoying in the late game. It's a good hero, but you also have Razor, and you're playing against the Gyro. This is a tri-core. It's really different, where Tidehunter, you know, great hero. You have this possibility to go for a refresher. Somnus has DD for a couple of seconds.
And a BKB as well, freshly picked up. He just blows up Chuan. Raven's got a static link on him, and they do punch down the Lina, but in comes the rest of Elephant. Great bushwhack with the Aegon shot, and the sharpshooter through onto DJ, but Raven chasing in towards FY, and
there's the big rabbit!
Oh my god, look at him go! Straight in onto 4. Eurus dropping low, but they've got the mech. The heal up, coming in through from Super. Eurus still dead, and Raven with a triple kill blows up Elephant. Super's gonna tether back, but Death has got his number. Chase him down and pick him off. Fnatic with a beautiful team fight.
Oh man, what a play there. That after picking up the Blink Dagger, goes in and lands a 4-man Ravage. I'd still prefer if they gave that Aegis to Storm Spirit, because he would got so much out of it. He's level 13 right now, rest of the team, you know, like your Tusk, who is position 5, is level 11, but we're gonna see that again.
It's just all so perfect.
Yeah, it does not get better than that. Deathbringer, we can call him.
He really was. And we were starting to get a little bit worried, you know, like you said, the tempo here from Fnatic, the necessity to keep your foot on that pedal, just keep on going, and that team fight, perfect.
Very even game. Both of these teams, they understand the timings. You can see Fnatic, like they want to take the fight straight away. But to go back to my previous point, where Legion Commander does not have a lot of damage this time around, so not going to be able to scale that much compared to, like, I'm just comparing the offlaners, but still the possibility of duel and being able to, like, provide team with the BKB, dispel things. I'm talking about, like, BKB with the shard that he just bought. Or magic immunity. It's the same sound, so
Yeah.
I would love it to be a different sound.
Oh, it would be nice. But yeah, coming back to your point about, you know, the Raise, the Storm, the carry matchups, the Tricore and Elephant, it's also the way the Tricore works, right? Because Lina and Gyro, they're very good at just standing their ground and A-moving. You know, they buy items, they just attack wherever you want to, whereas Razor and Storm, much more delicate. They've got to play in and out. They have to have that flow of the team fight, where they're finding the backlines, getting pick-off, getting this target, getting that. It comes down to the vision. You know, Fnatic had that perfect vision around this area, which allowed them to take the team fight. If that's removed, you do start to favor Elephant in terms of actually bringing things together.
A bit of a lag for Elephant. That's going to pass quickly. So Nature's Prophet is the hero. You're talking about Vision, who can provide team with the vision, either with treants or just place a lot of vision that other heroes cannot with the global TP.
Get the deep wards going. Tier 2 claimed up by Fnatic though. How long do we have? Just under a minute on Raven's Aegis. Looks like he's going to be able to fill that slot shortly. What's he buying? Is he getting Lincolns? What's going on?
Yeah, I believe that's Lincoln's to protect him against the duel, which is
there it is.
not bad, a bit unusual, but in this certain situation, I believe it's a correct choice. You just want to be as tanky as possible, be annoying, deal with the gyrocopter. Gyro, like this is very interesting after the recent changes. And you can upgrade Crystallis to Silver Edge, which also has a break. It's not a bad idea. I like what I see from Eurus.
Yeah.
Being able to break the tide and blow him up, especially during the duel, it's going to be very big, but DJ is the problem. If he does not get hit, if they don't cancel his Blink Dagger, you know there's going to be a snowball save. Like that's his job, pretty much. That's his only job. I go in and to save people who save the guy who's duel.
Come and fight me.
How much do you like this Silver Edge delaying the Satanic, though? Because that feels like it's one of the greatest things about Gyro with the Aghanim Scepter, is having Satanic. Like, not even having a Morbid Mask here on Eurus. Feels a little awkward.
They understand where the threat is coming from. I don't mind I'm not sure if they can like blow him up instantly. They need a duel, but as I mentioned, they
Let's
need
see Somnus.
they need to find.
Snap BKB into the Walrus Punch though. Somnus is going to throw spells onto the ground to get the Fiery Soul stacks up, and there's the Blink Duel coming in. The Snowball save though buys the time, delays the fight. Eurus has been static linked by Raven, and they're going to TP home. Elephant, they're ditching this fight. They stand no chance, and they'll lose out on Yang, it looks like. Legion Commander left completely alone down in that bottom right-hand corner of the map.
Exactly what I just said. They need to focus Tusk first, or try to force him to use the Snowball defensively for himself, and then go for the Tidehunter. Otherwise, this thing is always going to happen. They don't have. The problem is they don't have those backline jumpers.
Oh.
Their two supports are very
There's no
squishy.
BKB. There's no BKB left for Somnus. He's got Wand and Yules. He'll use the Storm and go for TP, and he stuns and he thinks to cancel. There is nothing.
Oh, nicely done. Very aware of the situation, who used what and just TPs out. They needed Tusk to be there. Tusk even has dual damage victory.
Oh, very nice. Dodging the missile. Wonderfully done. Oh, Raven grabbing up the Grove Boat. Feels good to be the Razor right now. Oh, I like this. So Death finishes off his Halberd. Recipe was on the Courier, which just died. But Refresher Orb is queued up on your Tide. Double Ravages incoming.
A bit limited on mana with this kind of a build. You need to pop your Hood of Defiance, maybe use Magic Wand. You're gonna get some stats while you get to level 18. Mana cost will increase, so that's gonna be a bit of a problem. You just don't have enough.
Oh,
Another good one.
straight onto both of them. Yes, you got the mech, you got the tether, but it will not allow you to withstand that damage from Fnatic.
While this was happening, I see Legion Commander with duel on cooldown.
Dire's middle tower
Who does she
is
duel?
under attack.
Good question, Gary. But let's see this one again. So, good jump from that. Every single time he sees Gyro and Io paired up together, we'll just go on them. Yeah, that's a very nice observer ward.
Dire's middle tower has
It's all about that vision. Every time Fnatic has vision on that dire side of the map and Ravage off cooldown, they're the ones that are going for those big pickoffs. And Jabs, he's going to get spotted by Yang here.
Yang just TP's out.
Drop
Even
it.
dropped the Spirit Vessel. Oh man, I love that. Have not seen that in a while.
Oh, goodness. Well, we had Moose dropping items in a previous game, Thunder Predator up against OG. Now we've got,
Oh, did he?
yeah,
Okay.
we've got Jabs dropping items here. Yeah, Elephant. It's 21. I didn't even realize. Just took double take. 21-9, 3k lead out for Fnatic, but it still feels like Fnatic could struggle going high ground. Storm and Razor don't feel like the best heroes unless you
They're
win
not,
a
but they're
big
very
team fight.
good at picking people off. They need to keep doing what they're doing. Fnatic is playing a really good Dota right now, and shutting down Gyro counter. He's getting very close to that Silver Edge.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Somnus nearing MKB.
Structures are fortified.
Double Damage Rune has spawned top, and Roshan's alive in a minute and a half. We'll see if those things collide, while Yang, under his tier 2 bottom lane, dispatched with quickly by a Raven.
Two observer wards scouting any kind of rotation when they leave tier 3 tower, and then Storm just zips, follow-up damage, TP from the Nature's Prophet. NP has Aghanim Scepter, so the root also gonna be very good, keep them in place. Another zip, a bit limited on mana.
And no Ravage for 10 seconds. Blink Dagger on cooldown for 10 as well, and it looks like the lines are drawn. Let's get back, just clear out these waves, play towards the next Roshan. 45 seconds is the timer that we see, but the teams, of course, will be thinking, could be now, could be soon. This DD rune is pivotal. Where's the Razor? Where's the Storm? Just don't let the Gyro have it. Or the Lena. I'm still trying to figure out what did Yang duel a couple of minutes ago. Everybody was miles
We
away.
don't know.
An illusion, let's say.
Possibly. They countered him in the laning stage, in the pick phase when they picked Tusk, so as expected, can't really do too much. You're also playing against the Tidehunter, so if you go for him, you can't kill him fast enough. There will be Ravage or the Snowball save. Now getting closer to that Lotus Orb, a lot of value coming out from that item. Might be a bit too late.
Double damage. Bottom tower is under
Yeah, it feels like you've slipped so far behind now. You wish you had a BKB. You wish you had something just a little bit bigger. And there's that Roshan for Fnatic. DD from Chuan. Regen rune spawned top for the Storm as well. As if things couldn't get any better for them. Now, do you give Aegis again to the Razor?
I would love it if Storm Spirit picks it up, but they are prioritizing Razor. They also gave him Shard, so Storm Surge can give you that static damage. It's 150, and it's triggered on the spells, and 18% chance on the attacks.
Forked Lightning, yeah. Well, I guess Raven's going to be the one frontlining high ground, so if they consider that they want to go push tier 3s, Raven's Razor is going to be the one breaching the staircases and the ramps. FY gets the scurry away. Chuan trying to utilize that regen rune. Won't be able to find anyone though.
I found some anti-synergy, Gary.
What's that?
Razor with the Shard and Lincoln Sphere.
Oh,
Someone
yeah?
targets you with a spell, Storm Surge does not proc.
Ah, but does it work like that?
I assume so.
Because you are still if you're targeted with a spell, even if Lincoln's blocks it, you're still technically targeted with a spell, aren't you?
I'm keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, please do. There's always those little interesting interactions. I do wonder.
Even that on Tidehunter is going for the Lincoln Sphere and the Storm Spirit.
Oh, no refresher.
Doesn't have enough mana to use it anyway.
Sad.
But Lincoln's is good. They have no abilities, like you can proc it with Homing Missile.
Yules.
It's not that easy. Like, you use Yules like that, it's not very easy to execute, especially on a hero like a Tidehunter. They could potentially drop another Lincoln Sphere on him, and then
He ravages you.
Ravage. We've seen what Ravage can do. That pretty much landed 3 or 4 good Ravages this game.
Nice, some superb ones. Speaking of superb, the rune RNG for Chuan has been really ridiculous the past 10 minutes.
That's what we call rune control.
Yeah, DD regen arcane rune. It's getting a little bit silly. Well, it looks like Elephant is trying to hold that high ground.
Wanting this.
Make sure they don't get picked off anywhere. Super TPing home. Eurus also BKB TPing.
5-man rotation, they get out. BKB charge from Gyro down to 7 seconds. He's okay trading that, but also Io managed to get out.
Look at how quickly they
Yeah,
move
I
across
was
the
about
map.
to say it. They just TP'd bottom and will.
Oh, the
yeah.
dire scan. He goes for an observable placement and he blinks away. Very close though to being caught. And Jabs, he's going to TP forward and sprout him. Yang's caught completely here now as Raven
Don't let him
shreds him.
hang there. Give him high 5. Anyone? Jabs on the high ground. DJ.
Oh, he's trying
Perfect.
to sprout himself down as well. Not going to work for him. Oh, that's upsetting, isn't it, Jabs? He's got TP ready now.
Just chilling with his homie.
Well, that speed at which Fnatic move across the map, though. As soon as they realised there was no real option for them up top, straight down to that bottom outpost. Snapping into things so speedily.
Lena dishes out some serious amount of damage with MKB. Also ranged plus damage from the quiver. Gonna be nice.
It comes down to the Storm and the Tide and how well they can pair up to find her. As a Lotus Orb onto FY, is going to try and delay this as best as he can. Scurries back to the tier 3s, but Chuan finishes him off. Storm now out of mana though, getting caught out by the Yang duel. Snowball from DJ, picks him up and saves him. Ball in towards the throne as Somnus gets punched up. Raven has drained all of his damage, but still gets blown up, and they kill off Chuan with a Laguna Blade. Somnus alive as Death's Ravage whiffs out on this one. They don't catch the Lina, she's still alive in the fountain. Somnus up and running. 2 heroes down on Fnatic, and Elephant hold their base.
Elephant managed to get through 2 Lincoln Spheres and get the duel on the Storm Spirit. It was not a successful one, so Yang still sitting at the 10. It was a good snowball. I think he needed to release it a bit earlier, and they went into tier 4 tower, so Tidehunter paid with his life as well.
Got it.
And those BKBs were well timed from Elephant. Also the fact that maybe made that gap between him and the rest of them.
Looked really good because they went on Lina. Lina pops a BKB, gets Walrus punched, still Sprout. Unfortunately, it does not hit her. Ravage does not hit her, and we've seen the power of the break mechanic there on the Tidehunter.
Absolutely did. Nature's Prophet, Aghanim Scepter and the Shard. How's he sitting? Yeah, a good $2 grand ahead of the Legion Commander in terms of net worth. No longer a support, now becoming a real core. Elephant coming out of their shell now, though. Feeling emboldened by their previous defense of the high ground. Satanic on the gyro makes them feel incredibly strong.
Not just Satanic, there's also this cool neutral item, Paladin Sword. Amplify all that healing.
The heal, the lifesteal. I mean, what? Holy Locket, Mech, Satanic. You've got Dispels, you've got heals, you've got lifesteal. Gyro feeling he's on the top of the world at this point.
Dire are scanning for enemy.
On DJ here, holding on to the gem for his team. Also holding on to this high ground in the triangle, but
that's a big target.
Blink duel, gem down. DJ gone for 50 seconds. Does have a buyback, but I guess with no Roshan and no real threat to the high ground just yet, he will hold out. But that's 40 seconds where the map completely belongs to Elephant.
With that gem picked up, they can also get rid of the vision, and we see Observable and the Sentry already killed.
Oh, Static Link fails. Now the turnaround from Elephant. Eurus thinking about the move forward as he's force-staffed in towards Raven.
Force-staffed that rocket.
Push it forward. Oh, Lincolns will pop it.
And Gyro's thinking. He had Daedalus in his quick buy, but if they want to go all in, I like what I see. What is that, Gary?
That's a Divine Rapier. That's where we want to be headed. I mean, he's got so much behind him. Yes, you've jumped the gyro here, and you've ravaged him up. Death catches onto him, and Eurus is dead. They couldn't press the attack. They couldn't save with Io. Somnus has to BKB TP as they get the catch onto the Io. Rooted up, thanks to that Aghanim Scepter, Nature's Prophet, and Super. He's just being pummeled into the ground by Chuan. FY has moved up to the high ground as well, but that triangle is no safe haven for the Dire team.
Another great Ravage there from Death. He goes in and just... He knows what's going to happen. Io will try to relocate and protects any kind of relocate play. Roche, almost 2 full minutes.
Yeah. Fnatic would have loved a fast one. You do have to consider now, though, Elephant will buy back, and Tide has no Ravage. So this next team fight could be a big one for Elephant, as they double buy back their supports, losing out the tier 3 top lane to these Nature's Prophet Treants. But bottom is where Fnatic gather up, group to push.
Gyro does not want to buy back. 25 seconds, they need to lose this barracks. I think it's very good that they managed to keep the Roshan dream alive. It's a long spawn. Razor has enough money to buy Scotty if he wants to reduce the healing and just slow against any of the ranged heroes is going to be good. Jabs inside the pit, 50 seconds until Roshan responds.
Keep some treants in there. Little scouty boy. Can keep tabs on the pit. And yeah,
Elephant's waiting for Gyro. They need to push out the lanes. They'll probably will just smoke inside the pit.
they do gather up in behind Eurus. They're not heading straight towards Roshan. It looked like the Gyro wanted to go over to scout out Ancients or that dire triangle. The rest of the squad want to grab the outpost, de-ward this entire area, and now they smoke.
Dire's top tower
Roshan,
is under attack.
10 seconds away. They're breaching the staircase,
And there's still high ground ward, which will get dewarded right now.
making a break for it. Observer ward placed, and everyone knows exactly what's going on. Radiant smoke on that left-hand side. From west to east, they will look to come as that maybe Lina does so much damage, like a super long-range howitzer. Artillery fire straight towards them. Chuan, though, is onto Yang. Legion Commander forced to press the attack, pops the wand and tries to escape, spider-legging away. Lotus Orb not going to pay off, though. Does have buyback as Roshan respawns, but Elephant on the back foot. Not in a great position to make the move.
Seems like Elephant is gonna let it go. Gyrocopter's not there. He's in the base.
Oh,
That's big. I mean, supports need to be very careful.
They can't
Buyback
afford
from
it.
Legion.
They can't afford to let this go, Lacoste. They've got to defend their Roshan.
It's too costly.
They do force Fnatic back as we should have a peek at these buybacks, right? Gyro, Razor, Storm, Tide, Nature's Prophet and the Tusk, all with buybacks available. Everyone else missing out on it. Oh, I have misspoken. Lina has just got enough gold to afford buyback herself. Fnatic back in the pit. Oh, the jump. FY down 90 seconds with no buyback. And they're losing
might
out
need
on
to
their
let it
top
go.
lane.
Nature's
Jabs.
Prophet is a bit too annoying. This is a tough decision for Elephant. Let it go. It's Roshan with Cheese, Aegis, and Aghanim Scepter. Aghanim Scepter, I guess they're gonna give that one to Storm Spirit. He wanted to go for one, so whoever queued it up first in his quick buy, you gotta give it to him.
Them's the rules.
I just made up that rule, but feel free to quote me.
Mm-hmm.
Divine Rapier, he has enough money.
He's buying it.
Oh, what a play.
Yeah.
He actually buys it last second. In case something happens, what he could do is just lock it, but this also works. And now he's gonna go in.
Right at the end of his TP.
Invis with the Divine Rapier. Can he surprise Tidehunter?
Wait, Somnus is Invis as well. Silver Edge breaks the Razor Storm. Zips in aggressively, has a regen rune and a cheese to toy with. Pops the regen as Fnatic now realizing what they're up against. The Rapier Gyro holding the high ground. It's a difficult prospect to contend with as Fnatic. They are inches away from closing out this game too and forcing the draw against Elephant. Tusk with the telescope, adding even more problems for the Chinese squad. The range on that snowball and the blink dagger, the saves are going to be there. Storm forces Eurus' BKB and a Lotus Orb very early. They tried with an Aghanim Scepter Vortex to drag him in.
It's a rough decision. Like, being in this spot where Elephant is right now, Eurus, if he doesn't pop a BKB, they could potentially just blow him up, follow it up with Tidehunter Ravage. He catches Io, there's no relocate play. Let's say you catch a Legion Commander on top of it, no press the attack. But a good thing is Legion has a shard, so at least you have some kind of a BKB until Yor comes online again.
Slowly but surely, they're chipping away at top with the Greater Treants. They're pushing in, bulldozing through that mid lane.
Yeah, you're right. Lincoln's with the Storm Surge actually works.
Nice.
Because I just saw Rocket being used.
Oh,
so
look at them. Lacoste.
sneaky little move.
Don't say a word. Fnatic want to shut this game down, and they jump straight onto Yang with a Ravage from Death. They've blown up Eurus, and Rapier's on the deck. No Gyro, no Legion. FY's been rooted up, and this looks like it's over. Fnatic with a beautiful smoke wraparound Get that pick off onto 3, and there's the GG.
Very nicely executed by Fnatic in this one. I gotta say, very impressed the way that plays. Reminds me of his time when he was standing during the Singapore Major. Understandable why this team decided to pick him up, because performance like this is on point. First, he was very annoying on the top lane. It also comes down to the matchup where Gyro plus Io couldn't really do too much to that, considering how good of a start he had. And then just managed to get multiple good Ravagers off. Great itemization from Fnatic. Triple Lincoln Sphere to be able to deal with Yang. And also, I think DJ's performance on Tusk was very nice. I'd rate it 9.3 out of 10. You know, considering you're playing a position 5. Those snowball saves. Like, you go in, you save, you pretty much turn the whole fight around, and the Chuan Storm Spirit was also all over the place. Like, it's very hard to say who played the best from Team Fnatic. Also, special shout out to Jabs, those wards in the lane, which allowed Storm Spirit to go for the long zips and get a good initiation. Everything on point, pretty much.
Yeah. 2 thumbs up from Lacoste means he did a great job. We'll have a quick break and return with our next series right after this.